This is the SinoTrack ST902W GPS tracker. Now, I installed this a couple of years ago, and actually I thought it was working fine until the other week there I went and checked it, and I just found out that it's not working fine at all. And actually it's just stopped working completely. It powers up, but it will not give you a SIM signal from your phone card that you need to put into it. It's not picking that up, therefore it's just staying offline, and therefore you cannot track your vehicle with this. One of the things I loved about this was the fact that it just went right into the OBD2 port, or on this side here, right? So when you opened it up, this is where you actually put your wee SIM card. A nightmare, there you go. So on the 2 points here, that's your SIM card, but because it's got micro USB here, it actually means that you can have it powered, put a 12 volt supply to there, right, via micro USB, and hide that any place on your vehicle. Now, that really appealed to me, but the problem is now that it's not working, I've got another problem, and the fact that, as you see by the sticker there, this is a 3G unit, and 3G is actually getting phased out at the end of 2023. So, what do I do? Well, it's quite simple. Here's what I do. I replace it with this, which is, as you can see, I'll bring the model number up. It's the ST901, and this is actually one of the basic ones. This thing only works on, well, it works on 2G, right? Yeah, I think it works on 4G as well, actually, but the main thing is it works on 2G, and because it works on 2G, this will run for at least another 10 years. So, it's quite simple. There's only 3 wires to it. So you have your black for your earth, red for your live, and this orange one here, this goes to the accessory switch on your ignition. I'll explain what that means later on, okay? So, not being impressed with Gaff, because they just cut off my last one without us knowing it, and I thought it was working away fine. I've decided that for this one now, I'm going to use 1P mobile, okay? Now, what you've got to watch with this is, you need to go to the full size, remember them? So I use the whole lot, and what you do is, if you go in the front here, you will see a picture of the the SD card, not the SD card, your SIM card, right? So to let you know which way it goes, you take the SIM card, and you take this corner here that's cut off, you can see it, match about that, and then right here, you just slip it in, and then once it's in place, push it in with your nail, and that's it locked in. Now, you'll see now, if I can just get it to focus at some point, there you go, look at that. So there's a blinking blue light and a blinking yellow light. So the blue light is actually your GPS signal, that's it now looking for satellites, and the yellow light is looking for a link from your SIM card in here for the data, which now it's went solid, so it means I've got to just set myself up in my phone, put the phone number for this and save it into my phone, because you have to send it a few codes, and that's it. Now, as you can see, there's a rubber casing around here. Let's go and screw it back together. Now, one thing I love about these kits is they're very simple. So, if I get this bit here down, because I'm quite happy now. Now, you'll find that when you first get these, there is a small amount of power into them, all right? So you can see that that is still working there. So now what I do is push this on, and I take one of the wee nuts that goes into the top here, and then just tighten that up. Okay, get the other nut, screw that into place as well. And there you go. So, that wasn't that hard. Now you get a double-sided piece of, actually I think this is Velcro, by the looks of it. It should separate. Yeah, there you go, look. So it is actually separating. Right, which means that you can actually stick this onto here, or onto the back probably would be better, right? And then the other side stick to where you're hiding this, which means you've still got access. So if you do have to pull this out because you have to do work on it, or check the SIM card or whatever, right, it can come on, change that, and then you can put it back in again, all right? But basically, that's this done. So, what I've got to go and do now is, I've got to go and put the live direct to a power supply continuous. The black goes to an earth, and then run this wire here over to the ignition, alright? But because I'm not putting this in the vehicle just now, let's go to the bench and we'll wire and show you there. Right, so there we are on the bench now. As you can see, I've got 12 volts running through it, and there you go, with the handy helpers there. Red is the red, and black is the black. There he is, he's up there, and the black is the black. So, I'm on the PC now, and as you can see, right here, this is me here, so I've just shown you it's, where we are in the world, right? So, if you bring the whole of the world up now, and now I know that I'm showing the number of this tracker here, but that's not a problem, because as soon as you go into this bit, you can actually set the password from the default, and I would totally recommend that that is one of the first things you do. Take the default password off, put your own one in, because if somebody does see your number like this, they can go in and track your vehicle, especially if you're using the default password. So, without further ado, as you can see, it's picked me up. And if I, oh sorry, just a one click onto it, you're going to see the data here. So I have power, I'm online, I've got it set to GPS mode, okay, and I'm on the power saving location just now is because it's not moving, okay. So basically it's telling me where I am in the UK. Now if I actually just, I'll click on that, because what I want to do is I want to zoom in. I know that's a bit too quick, I've zoomed in, but I'm going to, there you go. Here we're getting there, right. Right. Actually, I can even go into satellite here, it'll probably be a bit better for us, right? So, basically that's showing where I am in the UK, and that's where I am just now. And if I click onto it, right, so I'll bring this back up. Actually, if you see there when I hover over, look, there's the details that you can get down the right hand side, well, down to here. So here's where I am in Bonnie, Perthshire. And what I want to show you now is I'm going away to take this red wire. So actually, if I move this around here, right, just to let you see what I'm going to do, right. So, sorry, not the red one, the orange one, right. And I'm just going to touch it onto the red here. Alright, and what that is going to simulate, if you just keep your eyes on here where it says power saving location, okay, if this was wired up to an ignition, there you go, look, engine on. So that's now just informed me that, oh, hang on a minute, my engine's on and the vehicle is driving. So I know that when I'm checking this with this data here, the vehicle is actually in movement, okay? So it's not as if it's moved to another place, there is actually somebody driving this vehicle right now. So when they've stopped, now I've taken the orange wire now off, and I'm back to power saving location. That's how quick the data is on this. As cheap as chips as it is, fantastic. So if somebody was to steal your vehicle, then you've got a good tracking onto this. Now, up here, you'll see at the top here, there's 3 tabs. You could do all this on your phone as well, but I'll love it on this because there's more to do here. So, if we go to the replay one, you'll see that up here, I've actually picked the first, because on the first, I was actually away up, where was it? Glencoe, right? So you can see on the map here, there's where I was parked overnight, okay? So basically, it had me staying there for 9 hours and 43 minutes, right? So what I've done is, with picking that day, it now tells me where my vehicle's moved to. So, if we use this information down here, where you're seeing the purple, alright, we'll say that was where your vehicle was last tracked, right? And we'll also say now that you've found out that your vehicle has been stolen, alright? So, you're getting a time scale here as it goes. But when you go down the bottom in the play here, right, I had to go back to the start because I've not actually, there you go, I've used this. Right, so as you can see, get that way out of there, right, hit the play button, and what it's going to do now is show me exactly what happened. No data. Is it because I've used that? Oh dear. Right, well, I'll tell you what, we'll try to download again. No device selected. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Ah, sorry. Right, come on. I'm going to tilt this up again, right? So in here, where it says selected device, okay, you've got to pick your tracker. Ta-da! Put your dates in and then hit download, okay? So as you can see now, it's starting to do the history track. Alright. Yes, laddie knows his stuff, okay? So, I've now went on because I know where it was. So, sorry about this flashing here, right? So, I can now go and play this, right? And there you are, that's it playing now. And there you go. If I zoom in, it's because it doesn't look like you're doing much. Well, look. Now it tells me it was motionless here for 12 minutes. So I know I stopped at this bit here. So basically this is me driving through Glencoe. Okay, and this is actually a viewpoint in Glencoe. So I'm still coming up, I'm way up here now, right? And that's given me the journey, and rather than going right to the sitting here for ages, look, I'll zip it right up, right? And there I am now, coming through Loch Duach, right? And you'll see him coming up to Dorney. This is where Elandonnan Castle is, lovely part of the wood. Coming through into the Kyle of Loch Alsh, and then over Skye Bridge to where I parked for that night for to go and find someplace to stay at Kyle Leakin, and that was it. So, that's how you even find things on data-wise, and that's something that I've brought in from, well, the 1st of January, so there you go. So there you go. It's amazing what you can actually do with such a cheap system, okay? But you do need to have a data SIM card in there. So as I said, I'm using 1p. You put it up on your phone, so every time I send it a message, it costs me 1p. But what you have to remember with 1p mobile, everybody charges you for their data, but their plan I found better was the fact that they charge you up to £2.50 a month. So in other words, if you use say 15 pence, at the end of your first month, right, you will lose £2.50. So it's up to you to use this as much as you want, all right? But which means even if you're only going to use it for a small amount of things, worst case scenario, over a 4-month period, you'll be charged £10, and that's it. So that means then 3 times a year you will have to put £10 in. So to do this whole system, all it's costing you is £30 for a whole year, and it's amazing what it can do for you. But for the case of peace of mind, I don't think that £2.50 a month, a full month, is really that dear. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If there's anything you would like to put a note down in the comments, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And again, I hope it's actually helped somebody that wasn't aware that 3G for a kick-off is going at the end of 2023. And well, if you're in the market for a cheap, sufficient kind of tracker for your vehicle, SinoTrack hasn't let me down up to now. Touch wood. So, till the next one. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra.